There's a common misconception, a sort of gardener's myth, that winter is the great destroyer. We see the frost, the bare branches, the sleeping earth, and we think our work is over, that the garden has been defeated until spring. But I'm here to tell you that this couldn't be further from the truth. It is never the cold or the snow that truly damages a garden. It is almost always a lack of preparation. Winter isn't an enemy to be feared, but a partner in the cycle of growth, a quiet, contemplative time for the soil to rest and rejuvenate, but only if we help it along. When we understand this, we can begin to see winter not as a barren obstacle, but as a genuine advantage. It's a chance to reset, to enrich, and to lay the groundwork for the abundance to come. Over the years, I've refined this process into 4 essential steps. These aren't just chores to be ticked off a list. They are transformative actions. They are the difference between a garden that merely survives the winter and one that emerges from it stronger, healthier, and bursting with potential. In this video, I'm going to walk you through each of these steps. I'll show you how to properly clear and prepare your beds, how to build soil that will feed itself through the cold months, how to protect that precious life underground, and finally, what you can still grow to bring life and food to your garden even in the deepest chill. It's about working with the season, not against it. Let's get straight into the work that truly matters. The first, and perhaps most crucial stage of preparing for winter begins not with adding, but with taking away. As the growing season winds down, our beds are often a jumble of spent plants, fallen leaves, and the last vestiges of summer's bounty. It's tempting to leave it all, to let nature take its course, but a little bit of considered tidying now pays enormous dividends. I always start by removing any exhausted annuals, the tomatoes that have given their last fruit, the beans that have withered on the vine. This isn't just about neatness, it's about hygiene. Dead and decaying plant matter can become a haven for pests and diseases, which will happily overwinter in your soil, waiting to plague your new plants in spring. Pay particular attention to anything that showed signs of illness during the season, powdery mildew on your courgettes, blight on your potatoes. This material should not go into your home compost heap, where the pathogens might survive. Instead, it's best to dispose of it separately, through municipal green waste collection if possible, or by burning it if you're able. A clean bed is a healthy bed, and this is the foundation upon which all our other winter preparations will be built. It is a simple, yet profound act of resetting the stage for the next performance. Once the beds are clear, I turn my attention to the tools and containers that have served me so well. Every pot, every seed tray, every trowel and fork gets a thorough cleaning. A bucket of warm water with a bit of mild soap is all you need. Scrub away the old soil and any green algae. This simple act prevents the transfer of soil-borne diseases from one season to the next. It's a bit of a chore, I'll admit, but there's a deep satisfaction in putting your tools away, clean, ready, and waiting for the moment they're needed again. It's a mark of respect for the tools and for the garden itself. With the beds cleared and the tools clean, you can stand back and see the bare bones of your garden. You have a blank canvas. This is not an ending. This is the starting point. You've removed the old and made way for the new. You've created a sanitary, orderly space where the real magic of winter preparation can begin. This act of clearing is an act of strengthening, giving your garden the best possible chance to rest without the burden of disease and decay. It's the first essential step toward a garden that doesn't just survive winter, but thrives because of it. Now that our beds are clear, we can focus on the heart of the garden, the soil. The soil is not just dirt, it is a living, breathing ecosystem, and the winter months are a critical time for its health. Many gardeners make the mistake of leaving their soil compacted and exposed, but we can do so much better. The first thing I do is to gently loosen the soil. I'm not talking about deep, back-breaking digging, which can destroy the delicate soil structure. I prefer to use a broad fork, simply pushing it in and rocking it back and forth. This aerates the soil, creating channels for air and water without inverting the layers and disturbing the worms and microbial life too much. With the soil loosened, it's time to feed it. Winter is when the soil life, the fungi, the bacteria, the worms, does its most important work, breaking down organic matter and making nutrients available for the spring. To help them, I add a generous layer of a balanced winter soil blend. This isn't a high nitrogen feed for lush growth, it's a slow-release meal. I use a mix of well-rotted manure, garden compost, and leaf mold. This combination provides a complex range of minerals and organic matter that will gently decompose over the winter, building a rich, friable, and fertile tilth. To give this whole system a biological kickstart, I like to drench the beds with a compost tea. This is essentially a liquid extract of all the beneficial microorganisms present in good compost. It's incredibly easy to make. Just steep a bag of quality compost in a bucket of water for a day or so. Watering this onto your newly amended beds inoculates the soil with a vibrant community of life. These tiny helpers will work tirelessly all winter long, transforming your additions into a perfect growing medium. They are the unseen army working for you while you're inside with a cup of tea. This process, loosening, feeding, and inoculating, transforms the very nature of your soil. You are not just adding amendments, you are creating a self-sustaining system. You are building a soil structure that is resilient, that holds moisture, and that is teeming with the life that will, in turn, feed your plants next year. The healthiest soil is not created in spring, in a rush to get planting. It is built slowly, deliberately, and thoughtfully, before winter ever sets in. This is the true foundation of organic gardening. We've now created this beautiful, living, breathing soil, full of potential. The next critical step is to protect it. Leaving soil bare and exposed to the elements is one of the worst things you can do. The winter rain will leach away the nutrients you've just added, and the wind can erode the precious topsoil. More than that, the freezing and thawing can damage its structure. Nature never leaves soil bare, and neither should we. The goal is to tuck our garden beds in for the winter, just as you would a child. A good, thick mulch is the perfect blanket. There are many excellent materials you can use for this. A thick layer of fallen leaves is wonderful and free. Straw is another fantastic option, providing great insulation. If you've been tidying up your herbaceous perennials, you can chop them up and lay them back on the bed, a process often called chop and drop. You can even use layers of cardboard, which will smother any persistent weeds and slowly break down, adding carbon to the soil. The key is to apply a generous layer, at least a few inches thick. This insulates the soil, keeping it slightly warmer and protecting the life within from the harshest frosts. This protective layer does more than just insulate. It acts as a physical barrier against heavy winter rains, preventing soil compaction and nutrient runoff. It also provides a continuous food source for the earthworms and microorganisms we encouraged in the last step. As they draw the mulch down into the soil, they continue the work of building fertility. By spring, when you pull back this blanket, you will find the most beautiful, dark, crumbly soil imaginable, ready for planting with minimal effort. Your soil hasn't been sleeping, it's been feasting. For those of us who do a lot of container gardening, the principle is the same, but the method is slightly different. The soil in pots is much more exposed to cold, as it can freeze from all sides. I find it's best to group your containers together in a sheltered spot, perhaps against the wall of the house. This creates a shared microclimate. For particularly tender or precious plants, you can go a step further and wrap the pots, or the entire group of pots, in bubble wrap or horticultural fleece. This simple act can be the difference between life and death for a plant in a pot. The goal, in beds or in pots, is always the same: keep the soil alive. Winterizing your garden doesn't have to mean an end to all growing. In fact, it's a wonderful opportunity to cultivate crops that not only tolerate the cold but actively thrive in it. The flavor of many vegetables is actually improved by a good frost. There's a certain magic to harvesting fresh greens from the garden when the world around you is dormant. It feels like a small victory, a delicious secret. Broad beans, for instance, can be sown in late autumn for an extra early crop the following year. Their resilience is remarkable. Garlic and onions are a must. Planting cloves of garlic and onion sets in the autumn is one of the simplest and most rewarding jobs in the garden. They require the cold period, the vernalization, to encourage them to split and form proper bulbs. You simply push them into your prepared soil, cover them with your winter mulch, and largely forget about them until they send up green shoots in the spring. It's an investment that pays handsomely with almost no effort. Hardy greens like spinach, kale, and certain varieties of lettuce like winter density can also be sown for winter harvesting, especially with a little protection from a cloche or cold frame. You don't even need a large garden to keep growing. Many of these winter heroes do brilliantly in containers. You could have a pot of hardy herbs like rosemary, thyme, and sage right outside your kitchen door. ready for you to snip for a winter stew. A simple mix of multi-purpose compost with a bit of added grit for drainage is perfect for containers. A fortnightly feed with a balanced liquid fertilizer, if the weather is mild, will keep them productive. Growing in pots gives you the flexibility to move them to the most sheltered, sunny spot you have. This act of planting for winter is about more than just food. It's about keeping the connection to the garden alive. It's a reminder that the cycle of growth never truly stops. It gives you a reason to be outside, to observe the subtle changes of the season, and to feel that sense of purpose that all gardeners know and love. Choosing the right plants transforms winter from a time of inactivity into a quiet, productive, and deeply satisfying season of its own. It's about continuing the conversation with your patch of earth all year round. So there you have it, 4 steps that are not just about maintenance, but about a fundamental shift in how we view the winter garden. By clearing and cleaning, building living soil, protecting it with a warm blanket, and choosing plants that embrace the cold, you are actively participating in the quiet, powerful rhythm of the seasons. Following these steps will give you a garden that is not only healthier and more productive, but one that is also more resilient and more aligned with the patterns of nature. It's a garden that works with you, not one you have to constantly fight against. The effort you put in now, during these cooler, quieter months, is a direct investment in your future success. Every bed you prepare, every pot you clean, every clove of garlic you plant saves you work, money, and precious time when the frantic energy of spring arrives. You'll be ahead of the curve, ready to plant into perfect soil while others are just beginning their battle with weeds and compacted ground. This is the secret that all experienced gardeners know. The promise of a beautiful spring is made in the depths of winter. I truly hope you'll take these ideas into your own garden. If you found this guidance helpful, please consider subscribing to Nature's Blueprint and do like and share this video with fellow gardeners. We are building a community here dedicated to a deeper and more rewarding way of gardening. Your support allows us to continue sharing this knowledge. Thank you for joining me today. Keep your hands in the soil and your heart in the garden. More powerful gardening secrets are on the way.